Welcome to the Dr. Dare Show. My name is Dr. Frederick Dare. I am a therapist here in Atlanta, Georgia, and welcome to my channel. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, you subscribe. Like this video, share it, and click the little bell at the bottom of the screen so that you will get updates of when I upload new content. We usually cover hot topics or mental health issues. Today is no different. Today we're asking, why would a grandfather kill his own grandson? Why would a grandfather kill his own grandson? The Andrez Smith case. So let me give you a little background, son. Andrez Smith, 12 years old, was killed by his grandfather. This took place in Milwaukee, and what allegedly, I guess in the middle of Saturday night sometime, grandfather Andrez Martina decided to look into his wallet. I guess he saw some money was missing. I didn't see any reports on how much money was missing or anything like that, but he started to accuse both of his two grandsons. But the weird thing is that he deliberately asked for them to come spend time with him. He had just came back from Indiana, moving back to Wisconsin, and 3 months ago, so he could establish or reconnect with his grandchildren, right? So this one night they go stay over there with him, and then this incident happens. He accuses the 8-year-old and the 12-year-old, which is Andrez, of stealing money. Andrez's like, I don't have the money. I think I saw reports where he pulled out his pockets to show I don't have any money, and he tried to get away. I think they said 2 attempts he tried to get away from the grandfather, but to no avail. He didn't win. According to and allegedly the 8-year-old, that the grandson beat them both, I think, but more so Andrez, with a sledgehammer, a mallet, a cane. Then I saw somewhere else with a coat rack, and I saw 2 belts. And when the cops asked the grandfather Andrez why did he do it, he said he just lost it. And so I want to go back all the way to the beginning. So first of all, the two boys were no longer living with the mom since 2017. So that alone right there, I feel bad for these 2 little boys, because it seems like they have just been having a not so good life. So they were living with grandmother. I think her name is Alicia. It doesn't give details of why they're not with the mother, Nikita. But since 2017, grandmother has been taking care of the 2 boys, and she is the one that allowed the 2 boys to go over to the grandfather's house to spend the night. Where in the grandfather's house there is a disabled, I guess, great-grandmother who overheard the altercation happening, and she heard these kids screaming, and she heard yelling, and all of a sudden Andrez was in one of the rooms bleeding, I guess, and so the grandfather decides to text the grandmother that morning and say that Andrez had stole his money, and the grandmother was like, well, where is he? And he's like, he's in there bleeding. And so then the grandmother tells the mother to go get her kids, allegedly, and all this doesn't make sense. And so they go get Andrez, and Andrez's bleeding, and then the police are called, and then they rush Andrez to the hospital, and he was pronounced dead at Children's Wisconsin Hospital. Bizarre story. What was going on? First of all, why did the mother... I have a lot of questions on this story, and sorry, I feel like I'm jumping around. But why were the children removed from the home in the first place? From the mother, biological mother. And that was at 2017. Here we are in 2021. And then Nikita, on a video that I watched, the mom, the biological mom, said she was concerned about her children living where they were living, and I didn't understand that. It's just so many unanswered questions. What are your thoughts on this story? Who, I know they all failed Andre and the 8-year-old. They all failed him. Andre is deceased now. Rest in peace. My condolences to the family, but I do have a lot of questions. It just seems like there was never a stable environment for these children. And so, just a lot of questions for me. Oh, and then criminal history on the grandfather. He was accused in 1989. I saw 2 different dates, 1989 and 1990, where he was accused, I think, of killing another child or accidentally killing another child. But I think it was, yeah, I think he was charged with, what did they say? Let me look that up. In 1989, reckless homicide or accidental. The grandmother says it was an accidental shooting, but she said she really didn't know anything about it, which seemed like that was a cover-up, that response. But I would not have let my grandchildren go anywhere near, I'm sorry, spend the night with their grandfather. Maybe go visit him while I'm there in the presence, if he had this history. And I know that's my judgment on that part, but I don't understand this case. I don't understand why Andre is dead. And what are your thoughts out there? What are I kept reading different stories, and I just got, each time I was reading the story, I got more confused. So now they're accusing the grandfather of first-degree intentional homicide, physical abuse of a child, and child neglect, and so many other things. But my thing is, I can see where the intent was, because it's like you just got back into Wisconsin 3 months ago, and then you ask for your grandkids, and then they're dead the next day. Something doesn't sound right. And then Nikita, it's like she knew something was wrong in the home where the boys were now staying since 2017. But then I think they went to another house. Grandfather lived somewhere else, I think. I'm still not. This is still confusing. But anyway, just so many unanswered questions. What are your thoughts? Have you heard anything? Is there more details that I'm missing out on, that I'm not getting? But this is just horrible. This is why I don't agree with children being beaten, because some people don't know when to stop. Some people don't know how to punish. And I'm glad I said that, because the grandfather made a statement to the cops. Get this, y'all. It's basically, he told his grandchildren that if they ever stole anything, if they did bad in school, and something else, that he would kill them. He said it. Where's that statement? Yeah. So Andre, I'll find it. But Andre had skull fractures from blunt force trauma to the head and severe brain injury. So he was beaten very badly. Rest in peace, little guy. This is so horrible. This whole story, I know I'm all over the place with it, but it makes no sense. Here it is. If you lie, if you mess up in school, if you steal, I'm going to kill you. It's what the grandfather told the police that he told his grandkids. So it's almost like an intent. And one more article that I read said that I think the family was having problems with Andre stealing stuff. So it's almost like the grandfather got him over there to punish him. Like, oh, I heard you've been doing this, this, and this. I'm gonna handle it. And then he lost it. I don't know if any of this is. I'm piecing together all of this stuff. What are your thoughts? This is a sad story. I'm getting irritated and pissed off because it's horrible. This little 12-year-old trusted adults, and nobody was able to save him. Thank God the 8-year-old did have I think a broken finger or something like that, and some bruises, but he survived, thank God. What are your thoughts of this story? I'm lost for words, you know. Anything that I said that was incorrect, let me know. Any more additional information, you know. And this took place on the 28th, it seems, of August. So I don't know why this story is just coming out. I don't know if it was just being investigated. It took place on the 46th Street on the north side in Milwaukee. And the grandfather, 53 years old, he's charged with 5 felonies. And I hate to say this, but I hope he sit in prison, because it seems like you intentionally meant to harm your kids, your grandkids. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know. All right, bye.